Java Junkies. I'm your host, Scotty B, and today we're talking about Nguyen Coffee Supply. Now it says Nguyen Coffee Supply was founded by a first-generation Vietnamese American woman named Sarah Nguyen. This is 100% single origin Arabica beans, and they come in Arabica and Robusta. They grow them in Vietnam and roast them in Brooklyn. And they don't have a roasting date, but they do have a best by date. I really prefer when companies do a roasting date, so you know it's roasted fresh in the batch, but judging by the best by date, it's probably still pretty fresh. It says the tasting notes are wild berries, chocolate, cherry, and honey, so let's see what we get. Now, it has a little information on the outside that's kind of cool. They also have a lot of videos on their website, and if you, I bought 3 different types of coffee from them, and it came with a nice little hand-signed postcard with some QR codes that give you discounts and lead you to different videos on different ways to make Vietnamese coffee. Today we're not going to be making it the way Vietnamese coffee is properly prepared. I believe it's called a Fiend Filter, the metal filter they use that gives you a stronger cup of coffee. We're doing, we compare all our coffees at a baseline of doing it with a V60 pour over with 4 tablespoons of coffee. Everything's set standard. Because I want everything to be comparable. But they do have Fiend filters on their website. I believe it's PHIN, and I'm definitely going to get some and get some of their supplies because they have a great website with some amazing stuff on there. So I'm gonna get some of those and try it out, make it, and see how it compares to making it V60, and I'll be doing that on the channel eventually as well. Now they have a lot of information on their bag and information on their websites, videos about this, but the difference between Arabica and Robusta beans, because they grow both there. And Robusta beans have nearly 2 times more caffeine than Arabica beans, and Robusta beans have 60% less sugar and fats than Arabica beans. So we'll look forward to that in the coming weeks. This week we're trying their Arabica. Since I'm used to Arabica, I want to see how it compares being grown in Vietnam over Arabica, because I've tried a lot over Arabica. And then I'll be trying their 100% Robusta, and then I'll be trying the 50-50. They have 3 bags that were available on their website, and this one is called Moxy. That's their 100% single origin Arabica. So if you're getting it, they have these cool branding names. It says smooth and sweet. Let's see. All right, let's get that first whiff. That's very different than I usually get. It's almost like it's rich, it's got a spiciness to it, but it's also like wood, like it was aged in a barrel, you know? Like oak. And chocolate. Got some cinnamon spice. Ooh, and floral note. There's some other kind of spice in there. I can't put my finger on it. It's very familiar. Curry. Maybe I'm imagining things, but it smells a lot like yellow curry. All right, the beans are freshly ground. Let's see how it opens up. Ooh, such a beautiful smell. Still have that kind of woody fragrance, but it's very chocolatey now. And still that spice, but it's more powerful. And I'm still getting, as I go deeper, that yellow curry, but with a nice chocolatey note. Right now I can't tell dark or milk chocolate, it's kind of a combo. I am getting kind of a fruity note. They mentioned wild berries and cherries. Yeah, I guess I could get cherries. Kind of a berry note, but excellent. All right, we're waiting for our water to heat up to 205. Now, when people typically think of Vietnamese coffee, they think in the States of going to a fancy coffee shop and getting that condensed milk and the recipe of how to make Vietnamese coffee. Now, we're not doing that. We're just brewing the beans grown in Vietnam. I want to emphasize that. We're not doing the Fiend Filter. We're just heating our water. We're going to do some V60 pour over. Let's go! All right, our fellow is at 205. We've wetted our filter and we're ready to go. You know, this is the first time I've had actual Vietnamese coffee. Like, I've gotten a vegan Vietnamese recipe coffee at a coffee shop before, but I don't know that the beans were actually Vietnamese because it wasn't a Vietnamese shop. So who knows? I don't think they got different beans because they roast their own beans at the shop I got it at. But these, I'm really impressed with Vietnamese coffee so far. They're unique. Like, they have those typical coffee staples with chocolates and berries and everything and spice, but it's unique in its woodiness and real earthy. And I really like that. And the curry note is new. 4 tablespoons. One criticism, one thing that I wish this coffee had on its packaging is roast level. It's very important to me to know exactly what roast level I'm getting when I order coffee, and they don't really have, when I was on their website I didn't see a place to choose a roast level, or it was just 3 types of coffee, the Arabica, 100% Robusta, and 50-50. And but by the nose, it's a lovely medium to light roast. It's definitely not dark, so it's probably lighter. It seems light roast to me, but yeah, it's definitely not dark roast. But it's nice to know on the outside what kind of roast you're getting. Maybe I'm unfamiliar with Vietnamese coffee and they always roast at the same level traditionally. I don't know about that, but yeah, it doesn't have the roast level on the package, and that would be nice to see in the future. Let's bloom it. Got a nice bloom going there. Now, one thing I also appreciate about pour over coffee is that every coffee, if you grind it the same way, every different coffee will just look different as you do the pour over. Like this one, it looks cooked together like a brownie. Like, it looks really chocolatey and tasty, like I could just dip in and eat it. Other ones will look a little uglier, some will be more bubbly. It depends on all sorts of things. So but right now it looks really tasty. Ooh, wow. That brew stink. It's like, it's bitter. It's like flour. Some sort of flour. Maybe something from my past, definitely, but I can't remember which flour. And that spiciness and woodiness is there. Actually really pleasant. You know, normally I don't like the during the brew, the smell, but it turns really pleasant very quickly. Okay, now it even smells like a brownie, like fresh baked brownies. I definitely want to eat this. Now I'm getting a sort of soup smell, like a this just nice vegetable soup, or even some spicy noodle dish. Now, one thing I noticed with the Costa Rican from Perky Perky, the other in the other review for their light roast, and I noticed it with this one, is that it's taking a very long time to brew, more than is typical for a medium to light roast. But you know, brewing time changes with every coffee I get, and I ground it the same way. I didn't grind it too fine. But yeah, it just how it looked, because it looked like a brownie. It didn't have, you know, it wasn't as, what am I looking for? Porous? Is that what I mean? But it, yeah, it's taking a very long time to brew, to soak through into the mug. I can't wait to try the Fiend style. Yeah, it's not even at the halfway mark, and I would usually be done by now. So this is gonna sound funny, but I'm starting to get various scents from my past the longer I brew this. It smells like the childhood home of somebody I used to play with when I was little. It just has that distinct scent that I don't know what it smelled like, but it definitely smells like their home. Huh. Alright, Nguyen Coffee Supply, Moxie. Let's get a whiff. Have some spice of cinnamon. It's a lot more mellow in its liquid form, as is typical. Nice and creamy. Chocolatey. Dark chocolate. I kind of get a milk chocolate too. I don't get much of that curry scent anymore. Alright, let's see how it tastes. It's got that Arabica flavor. It's familiar. It's unique though, as well. It's got mild acidity, some zest there. Oh, upon another sip, it's definitely acidic. And opening up, I get kind of a umami, like a tomato. Savory and fruity, very lively. Ooh, yeah, there's the cinnamon and some wild berry. It's very berry. I get some smoked flavor on the finish if you move it around. Like a like a smoked whiskey or cheese. There I get a little cherry, like a smoked cherry. Overall, it's a wonderful cup of coffee. One of my favorites that I've had on the show. I don't know how I'd rank them. I can't. I'd have to A/B compare and I'd blow my palate. I don't know. Alright, let's come back to it, see if it's changed. will say that this is the first coffee I've done in a while that just really didn't have any nuttiness on the actual flavor. Just a lot of spice. Very pleasant though. Almost a coconut. Nguyen Coffee Supply, grown in Vietnam, roasted in Brooklyn, the people's grind. Get it. Well, that's it for Java Junkies. Join us next week, every Monday at 8 a.m. We're going to be trying the 100% Robusta from Nguyen, and then the week after we'll try the 50-50. Like, share, and subscribe.